Hello! Welcome to the beginning of my journey in quitting the contraceptive pill. So I posted a poll on my Instagram asking if people would be interested in me documenting this journey, and I had so many responses. Lots of women feeding back with their experience and also wanting to know how I'm getting on. So I thought the best way to do that would be to create a little YouTube series. I find that I ramble quite a bit, and so condensing these things into reels and TikToks is just hard, and it's so much better having the freedom and the time to be able to talk properly. So here we are. Let me just check we're in focus. We're in focus, baby. So I thought I would intro this series just by giving you my backstory, my history, my experience, and a little bit of like why I'm doing this. So I was put on the pill at the young age of 15, which is mad, but I was, and there was a couple of reasons why I went on it. So reason number one was that my periods were a little bit all over the place. I mean, I'd only had them for a short amount of time, so they weren't settled properly, and I found that annoying. I got my period in an exam and I was like, nah, screw this, put me on something that's gonna fix it. Also, I had really bad hormonal acne. So at the time it was on my chest and my back, and doctors had tried everything to help me get rid of it. I'd been on tablets, I'd had special creams and ointments, and nothing had pulled through, nothing had worked at all. If anything, it felt like it was aggravated. I think with hormonal acne, that is so hard to treat without balancing the hormones, of course. And the GP told me that they had a pill that would cure my acne. And it did. Lo and behold, it did. Which, at the time was incredible. And continues to be, because, now it's so rare for me to get a spot. I don't really get spots, just the odd one or two. And the reason being, I believe, is that the pill I'm on prevents sebum production. So sebum is the oil in your skin, and mine is basically blocked, I think. So I just don't really get spots. Although I do get greasy hair, so make it make sense. Anyway, so those are the reasons that I went on the pill, and then obviously it was great having it as a form of contraceptive growing up throughout my teenage years and my 20s. I tried to quit the pill for the first time when I was about 21. I think it was just around the time I graduated university. And reason being was that I started to learn about my cycle, because sex education in the UK is just crap. Like, it doesn't hit the mark. We don't know, or we didn't know, what our bodies were doing, what our cycles were. I had no idea. All I'd been taught was, you're going to bleed once a month. These are the things that will help you. This is how a tampon works. Bye bye. Like, that is literally it. And I didn't know anything about the different phases of the cycle, what my body was doing, and I started to research into it when I was about 21. I started to learn about it. I bought a book called, I think it's called Take Charge of Your Fertility, or How to Take Charge of Your Fertility. I can't remember, but I will link it below. I'll research it and link it below. And I was just learning so much and was feeling really like empowered and keen to have a natural cycle and to let my body do its thing. I mean, there was things I was learning, for example, that your discharge changes depending on the phase of your cycle. For example, when you're fertile, it will change completely. And I just was like, mind blown, like, these are things I never knew. In 21 years, no one had ever taught me. And yeah, I was feeling empowered, and I was wanting to take charge of my fertility and have a natural cycle. And so I quit the pill. Lo and behold, I was off of the pill for 12 months. And within that 12 months, I got no period. None. Which is not a good sign. And I also broke out really badly. Of course, my acne came back with a vengeance, but this time it wasn't just on my chest and my back, it was on my face. So it was just not a fun time. I was kind of feeling a bit like shitty. I'm like, how am I in my 20s and I'm still dealing with acne? I wasn't getting my period. I kind of felt consistently like, the week before your period, when you're in the luteal phase and you're kind of like greasy and spotty and you feel shit. I felt like that, but for 12 months, okay? And I phoned my GPs, I explained what was happening, I explained that I hadn't had my period in 12 months, which, by the way, is one of the vital signs of life. So if you're not getting your period, you need to look into that, because there can be so many different reasons. For example, your weight, stress levels, health problems, whatever it might be, but it is one of the vital signs of life. So if you're not getting your period, you're not having a natural cycle, then it's important that you look into it and that you seek professional guidance, because something's going wrong. Not to freak you out, but it's true. And so I phoned my GPs multiple times, and all they had to suggest was that I go back on the pill. I remember speaking to the nurse over the phone, and she was like, well, you got your period on your pill, right? And I was like, yeah, even though, by the way, it's a withdrawal bleed, not like a full-on period. And she said, well, then just go back on the pill. I was frustrated, but in the end it got to me. I didn't know what else I could do, and I was sick of looking what I felt was not good and feeling not good, and so I went back on the pill. Fast forward a few years, so this time I think I was like 23, 24, I quit the pill again. And this time I actually got my period back, which is such good news. It came back within 6 months, which is great. And actually, if you Google online, it says generally speaking periods will come back within 3 to 6 months post quitting the pill. So I felt like I was in the safe zone there. I felt really happy about that. And for the first few months I didn't have any acne. The doctors actually gave me a cream that prevented acne, which worked on my face. Unfortunately, it just didn't cut the mustard with my chest and my back. That still broke out. But it did take like 3 to 4 months, I think, for the acne to start. Also, oh my gosh, the cream that I was putting on made my skin really delicate and sensitive and like thin. I think it does something to the top few layers of your skin. So my skin was really delicate, really dry, like I was having to moisturize like crazy. It was like flaking off around my mouth. Sorry, it's so gross, but it's true. And I was on a night away with my friend. We were in this nice hotel, and I went to wax my mustache, and I shit you not, it pulled like multiple layers of skin off where it was just like flesh, and then it was bleeding. So I had a scab. I was also single at the time, so that just looked amazing. Me with a little scab on my mustache. So if you are on any kind of cream to prevent acne, just Google whether you can wax, because I learned the hard way and it sucked. Anyway, I digress. So I got my period back within 6 months, but the acne did come back again, like really, really bad on my chest and my back. And I do quite a lot of photo shoots for Cornish brands, for sort of surfy lifestyle brands, which means being in bikinis and sports bras and nice outfits. And I was so self-conscious, I can't even tell you. I was like piling foundation onto my chest and back, and by the way, it's so hard to put foundation on your back before a photo shoot, and it just wasn't good. It was transferring onto clothes. I was so embarrassed. I was just thinking again, like, why am I in my, approaching my mid-20s and I'm dealing with acne still? I was working in the gym and I couldn't work out just in a sports bra. I had to have like a t-shirt over the top up to the collarbones. That was always my rule, and it was just affecting me a lot. It affected me a lot. So in the end, once more, I did the thing that I knew would fix it, and I went back on the pill. Now here we are. This time I'm 27, so I'm feeling hopeful. The reason I've decided to quit again is because, like I said the first time, I just want to have a natural cycle. I want to know who I am off the pill, because obviously I know it can affect your moods and how you feel and your energy levels. And going on at the age of 15, like, my period hadn't even had time to even out at that point. I was a grumpy, hormonal, young teenager, evil child, so I don't know who I am really off the pill, So I want to get to know myself. I want my body to do its thing. I want a natural cycle back, and I just want to feel healthy. Also, being 27, for me personally, I know I want to start a family at some point in the nearish future, and so being able to sort out my cycle before then is going to be super important. I don't trust, knowing my body, that if me and my partner were to decide to try for a baby, that I would be able to quit the pill and get pregnant within a year. Like, I just don't think that would be the case. So I'm coming off of it now. Obviously we'll be using contraception because we are not ready for a baby yet, but I'm going to come off it now and just try and balance out my body. That is the goal here, is to balance everything out. And I am apprehensive about it. I am expecting acne again, just because I know my skin, I know my body, but I figured that sharing it with the world would make me a little bit less self-conscious, because I feel like before, when I had acne, it was always like my dirty little secret, you know. I didn't like telling people, not even my closest friends would know really, because I covered it up so much. But this time I'm exposing myself to the world and I'm going to tell and show everyone, and I feel like somehow that's going to help with the brain, which I feel like is kind of backwards, but when something is secret and hidden, it makes it so much, how do I explain it? It makes it so much harder to share, and it makes me feel more ashamed when I'm hiding something. So I figured that this time I would just share it with the world and feel less ashamed. But yeah, I think I'm not taking anything to prevent it. I'm not yet on any medication for it. I'm just going to see what happens. I guess it'd be good to talk about the things I am doing to try and help balance the hormones. So I'm taking obviously my usual supplements and vitamins. In the morning I just take a cod liver oil for omega-3 and 6. I take a probiotic and I take vitamin D. And then in the evenings I'm taking magnesium and evening primrose oil. And I believe, I might be wrong, but I think there's something to do with primrose oil and hormones. It's supposed to help. I'm not sure that I'm entirely correct there. But if anyone has any suggestions on supplements or things that they do or take to help balance out their hormones, I would love to know. It's definitely something I'm going to research and definitely talk about in another video. But yeah, I'm doing that. I'm staying as hydrated as I possibly can. I mean, water is good for so many things, but it's also great for your skin. So hydration is important. Cup of tea doesn't really count, but you know. I just feel like where I am in life right now, hopefully I'm in... That was weird. I swear there's ghosts in this place. This time I'm not going to quit. I am going to push through. And I just hope that with me being where I am in life right now, that I stand a better chance of coming off of it well and successfully and being able to balance everything out a little bit quicker. Obviously I am a little bit older now, I'm in my late 20s, I am a lot less stressed, I'm in a really happy, healthy relationship, which makes a big difference. I eat balanced, I work out and get lots of time in the outdoors, and I feel like all of these factors make a really huge difference in hormone regulation and with acne as well. So yeah, I'm feeling positive about it for sure. I'm not going to restrict anything out my diet. If you know me, you know I don't restrict. That is not my brand, that is not my vibe. So I'm not going to be restricting anything. I'm just going to continue to eat balanced like I do, getting in all the nutritious foods and enjoying food and enjoying life. I feel like being happy and keeping stress levels down is definitely key here. So that is the plan. And that is you up to date. I hope this wasn't boring, but I thought I would just intro this little series with my history and what I've experienced thus far, plus my reasons for coming off. So I don't know what the next video is going to be. I suppose it's going to be a bit of an update on how things are going, how I'm feeling. Truth be told, at the minute I'm not feeling many side effects. I did wake up with a nasty migraine the other day, and Google told me that estrogen withdrawals once you quit the pill can cause migraines, so I think that might have been the culprit. I've experienced a couple in the past, and that was when I was on the combined pill, which is a big no-no. If you have migraines and you're on the combined pill, speak to a health professional immediately, because it is an indicator that you could be more susceptible to blood clots. So I shouldn't have been on it, but my nurse said, we'll just keep an eye. But I did get a really savage migraine the other morning, and I feel like I'm happier, but I also don't know if that's placebo, because so many women messaged me and said, like, I feel so much better, my moods have lifted, my libido's back, etc. So I don't know whether that is just placebo or not. It's only been about 2 weeks since I quit, so we're in the early days. But I will do an update when things are happening and let you know how it's going. If you have any questions that you would like me to answer, I feel like maybe a Q&A would be a fun thing to do at some point, so drop me a DM on socials or pop them in a comment below and I will definitely get around to that at some point. But yeah, if you are a female who is on the pill thinking about coming off of it, or perhaps you have quit it and you want someone to sort of go along that journey with you, then tune in for more. I hope this is helpful. So many of us experience issues around our cycles, around our skin, all the things I've been talking about, and so it's so much better, from my opinion, to be able to talk freely about it. And also I know that I have been sat there behind my laptop typing in onto YouTube, you know, quitting the pill, blah 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 blah, fixing your skin, and I know that these are the kind of videos I was looking for, so I just hope that it is useful for people who are looking for some advice or just someone to listen to. Obviously, I am not a medical professional, so if you have any real concerns around your body and your cycle, definitely seek help from a GP or a professional. I'm just here to talk you through my experience, and we are all so different. A couple of people messaged me saying they had a really seamless journey when they came off the pill and that they were really lucky in that sense. So I might be making it sound really scary, but for some people it's really not, and it's so easy to come off of. For others it's different. So yeah, we're gonna see what happens this time, and I will update you as soon as I can with all the bits and bobs that are going on. I'm going to do more research on how I can help myself and my body in this time, and I will be making plenty of notes on side effects and things that are coming up. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye.